jokes aside, the word guru means remover of darkness. Guru. Darkness, guru, remover. So anything that removes your darkness is a guru. Nowadays in a lot of business companies, don't they use the guru of this, the guru of Microsoft, the guru of that? You know? They've used this term now. But in the olden days, the word guru was really related to somebody who takes you on a spiritual journey. You know, somebody who shows you where your soul is, where your soul is within yourself, where the light is within you. And it removes the darkness so that you can see your own light. Now, guru disciple or devotee, is somebody who is very, exactly like it says, sees the guru, feels a connection. A guru-disciple relationship is a very intimate thing. It is very hard to explain. It is so deep and beyond explanation, but I'm going to try and explain it. When you're in the company of a divine soul, you feel a shift in your energy. I remember Norma Nirvana. She's a Scottish girl. She used to be here for quite some years, and we went to America. We took a group to the ashram. 18 of us went. And she said to me, "Oh, Nalanie, I've only seen Swami Satchidananda in photograph. You know, she was a follower of Lord Jesus. What if I get to the ashram and I feel nothing?" So I said, "Why are you worried? You fall in love with the teachings, not the teacher then. That's even better, because the teachings is what it's all about. Lord Jesus, all these great teachers taught us the same thing. So don't worry so much about how you feel." But the moment she saw him, afterwards she came to me crying and crying and crying. "Oh, Nalanie, I felt this wonderful, like a beam of love flowing from my heart to his heart and my heart to his heart." I said, "You got it. You got it. That's probably why you came to the center in Gibraltar, and that's probably why you had to come to America, because you already been chosen for this path. The rest is mind stuff. Should I, shouldn't I?" So a disciple knows the guru by the way the disciple feels. It's a heart connection. It's a heart connection. Look at Lord Jesus 2,000 years later, people are still falling in love with him, right? Mother Teresa's gone, and people who've just read her works still falling in love with her. Do you know? Her work in service, Gandhi. So many people, there's the Gandhi path, and so many masters that come through town, through life. Paramahansa Yogananda, Ramakrishna, so many masters. There's not just one. So in the Bhagavad Gita it says, which is one of our sacred texts, it says, wherever there is unrighteousness in the world, whenever, he tells his disciple Arjuna, do not worry. There will be somebody born to bring back the righteousness. In any age, in any time. And this person, obviously there are different levels of gurus, and there are different levels of advancement of the souls. So the guru depends on the disciple. And there is a saying, did any of you see, what was that film with Antonio Banderas? Zorro. They also said it there. When the student is ready, the master appears. The master appears. And that's exactly what it is. When your soul cries out, "I need more, I want more, there's something I'm missing in my life and I don't know what it is," there you will get it. And the highest calling we have in us is our soul calling. It wants to know why it's here. The body, the mind, everything confuses it, but the soul knows it's on its way home. But of course, materialism, being surrounded by materialism, being surrounded by huge egos, being surrounded by selfishness, we lose who we are. And so the disciple, on seeing the guru, follows the guru's teachings. And really, it is the teachings one should follow. One of the reasons why I fell in love with Swami Satchidananda was he was living his teachings. He walked his talk. And one thing I really loved about him was he said to us over and over again, many of us, he said, use me for as long as you like. Make me your crutch. But when you find the Guru within you, your own light, drop those crutches. Always love me, because there will always be a connection. But you can walk on your own with your own Guru within, your own light within. But many times in our life we need guides, right? We need teachers. And this is the Guru's role. There is this lovely story about the candles. I think many of you know it, but some are new, so they may not know this story, which we tell to the children often. And it's called the Conference of Lights. There are all these candles sitting in a dark room, unlit, and they're going, oh my God, we want light, and year after year they're all discussing light, talking about light. And one day, this goes on for generations, one day the candle goes, listen, we're talking about light, let us go and look for light. Oh no, you just sit here and you pray and no, I want to go out there, but don't you know the world is dangerous? Don't you know you can't do that? But I want light, I'm going. Oh my God. So this lovely candle breaks out of this comfortable darkness and goes in search of light. And walks, and suddenly, and it's fumbling and falling everywhere. And suddenly in a distance it sees a glimmer of light. So it walks towards that light. And what does it see? This huge candle with this huge flame. And he goes, oh my God, there's light. I finally found light. But how am I going to take the light back to the others? If I climb up this candle and get its light, I'll take its light away. So the big candle says, no. You can never take my light away. All you have to do is rub against me, use the wick, get my light, and you will have your own light. So the little candle goes out, touches the wick, gets the light. Look, and your light is still exactly the same. We haven't stolen anything. Oh, do you mind? I love you very much. Thank you. But I can take this back to all those people in the dark room because they're never going to come out of the dark room if I don't take the light to them. So this little candle walks and takes that light to the other candles, and one by one they all get lit. So that is kind of Guru-disciple relationship. Have I explained it to you? Okay. You're very, very welcome.
It's a new story. I never heard
Yeah, I
that.
have.
Well, I changed it a bit to my own words.
I never
Yeah, that's the simplified version.
No, actually, it's the more complicated one. The actual story is that long. I think I just extend it to more modern generation. Maybe we take longer to learn in this generation, or we need more clarity and intelligence also. We're so based on our intellect base that, sometimes just telling it very simply, oh no, it doesn't make sense, it's too simple. We need, in our minds today, everybody needs intellectually to understand things. And that's the difference, because we've been in our era taught so much to work with the intellect and not so much with the heart. So a guru-disciple relationship is very hard. It's very hard. And it is only healthy when it can uplift you. It uplifts you. Now somebody comes into your life with this magnetism, because anybody who meditates for a long period of time will have some kind of magnetism, and they come and you can feel that magnetism. You have to be a little careful. Watch how they live, watch what they do with their lives, watch especially the rules of yama niyama, which are like the 10 Commandments, We need to live in our own truth. We need to live in non-violence. We need to follow some of these rules. Otherwise, you don't have a guideline. And I think everybody has. Don't forget, there's good and there's evil. Which force is stronger? You know the story of the wolves. Who doesn't know the story of the wolves? Everybody knows it? Oh no, so I tell it again. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, there's these grandchildren and they're speaking to the grandfather. And the grandfather's telling them a story. He said, you know, there are two wolves and they live in our minds. And they're always at battle with each other, all the time. And one of the wolves is aggressive and angry and jealous and always wants things for itself, selfish. And the other one is kind, compassionate, and loving. And they're always at battle. So the grandchildren ask, Grandfather, if they're at battle, who wins? Who wins the battle? Thinking the grandfather will say, of course, the good one. And the grandfather answers, the one you feed most. Is it clear? So what you feed your mind with is the one that wins. And of course, you know, simply by the law of deduction or sensibility or whatever you want to call that law, that when you're aggressive, you're not at peace. When you're angry, you're not at peace. When you're in fear, you're not at peace. Simple, isn't it? This simple. It's so simple. Spirituality is so simple. When you're on those things, you are not at peace. When you're in joy and content and fulfilled and compassionate and kind and selfless, you are at peace. So it's always wiser to choose that one, isn't it? Because while you're living on this earth, what do you want for yourself? To live with bitterness, anger, jealousy, fears, or do you want to live in joy and peace? It's the one you feed most. So ask yourself, if you've got this unhappiness, what are you feeding? And watch your mind. Which thought are you feeding in your mind? Watch it very carefully and this is what our master was saying, the Guru is within you. It's the one that watches, it's the light that shines on the evil and the good. It shines on both the same. It's your intellect that has to make a decision. Now, is your intellect more connected with your ego and how you look to everybody, oh my God, this is who I am? Or is your intellect more connected to, this is the betterment for all, including myself? For all, not just me. It's just not about me. It's for betterment of everybody. Where are you based? And your decisions will be very clear. But you need to know yourself well and build up the divine in you. How do you build up this witnessing factor? The light that watches, it doesn't judge. Did you see that? It doesn't judge. Why do people say God judges? God is just love and light. Just love and light. So if you feed the light, you get more light. You don't bother to feed it and live in the darkness. God bless you. Enjoy your life in hell. Because for me, if you live in darkness, you're in hell. Why would any of us want to live there? But many people choose to. They choose out of fear because they're scared to move out the box. They're frightened to be different. They're worried about what people think, what people are saying. And so it's hard. It's not easy. So that's why I encourage you to read spiritual books every day. I encourage you to meditate every day. I encourage you to look at yama niyama in your life and see how you feel. Watch it for yourself. Watch yourself how you feel when you do a good deed. You know, for me it's very simple. I even just after class here, I watch people clear up, although you think I don't. I always watch. It's the back of my eyes. I know I'm busy talking to people saying goodbyes. And I watch the ones that do it with joy, and they really have joy, and the ones that do it and complain and say, why doesn't anybody help? Don't expect. If you do service, you just do it with love. Just do it with love. And you can see the joy in the face. On my birthday, I came into this room because I saw Gigi with her 2 daughters cleaning. They were laughing and giggling and so joyful. I just felt so grateful. I thought, what a nice example. Alone here. Everybody else was eating in the kitchen. I came and thanked her. And I've seen you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and so many of you do it. But you can see there is a joy when it's done with love. And you see, there's not a joy, why doesn't everybody else do it? There's the kind of like, it spoils it, you know? And this is life. Don't expect anybody to do it. And that's what she's learned. She goes, you know, now I just do it. And she really, really doesn't think, oh, this person hasn't done it, or that thing person doesn't. Doesn't matter if I stay 10 minutes later. That's the attitude. And that is joyful. The moment you expect somebody else, I see already disturbance come into the body and the mind, and that purity of the joy of just for the sake of it doing. And I think, you know, just watching little things like this around the center, you learn a lot about people, and you learn a lot about life. And then I go, I'll remember that when I sweep the floor, I'm going to have so much fun because Gigi had so much fun with the children. So who came to my mind the other day because I made a conscious thought. A long time I haven't had to clean so much. But now I have 5 grandchildren and I'm living in the same kind of home with them, which is great fun. But 5 together, you know, and one is 1 year old, it's going to be messy. And it's great fun cleaning with the grandchildren. And my children will say, Mom, sit down, don't do so much work. I said, but can't you see I'm loving it? Do you know? And I remember you with your 2 daughters. And I want to be joyful. I'm loving it. Yes, I'm exhausted at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean I didn't love my day. Do you know what I'm saying? But then if you get bitter about it, it loses its joy. So who is that light within you? You know, what makes a circumstance good or bad is the light that you feed in your mind. And where do you learn all this from? From a master. And this is where I got it from my brilliant master. Books you can read, but a book will not correct you when you're wrong. And then in one way I miss my master a lot, because when I was silly or wrong, he would, Nalanie, slam the phone. He loved it. He really did love it. And when I did something well, he would say, you know, he'd say, Gurudev, what else do I have to do? What else do I have to learn? You know, you're doing everything perfectly. But Gurudev, can I do more pranayama? And can I do more hatha? And can I, these were in the early days. You're doing the best you can. And I wanted to do more. And that more that I wanted to do was frustrating me. So finally I listened. Gurudev, what do I have to do the last time? Because you're doing the best you can. I said, I am doing the best I can. And then peace settled. Do you see? Peace just came. I really am, sincerely. But I needed to do it for a long time to believe that I was. So it takes a long time to build the light in yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. The Guru within will shine as much as you will allow it to. And life will bring many, many obstacles to you. Guaranteed. But thank God. What I always say is, thank God I have the tools. And that's what you need to be grateful for. Yes, of course you'll have a bad day. Don't be so overcritical. You're human. And that's what my Gurudev wanted to tell me. It's okay, Judith. It's okay. You're doing what you can, do the best. What more do you want to do? What can you do? But all the good you can, in all the ways you can, to all the people you can, that's all you can do. And when you fail that one day, you accept and let it go. Tomorrow I try to make it better. Tomorrow I try to make it better. And every day you tell that to yourself. That's all you can do. Thank you for that question. Any other question about guru-disciple relationship or anything you'd like to share? Because it's a very intimate subject. If not, I have
And sometimes they say, for example, like angels, they say you have to request their presence in your life. But Gurudev is different, isn't it? He's there even if you, I don't know, what do you reckon?
I'd like to answer that one today. Somebody actually said that to me. How interesting angels have come up. Angels, wonderful spirits that have evolved, but they're not yet where they're totally free. They still have work to work with us and to work on other dimensions. All the saints and sages, the pure saints and sages, they're wonderful. But they're longing for a human birth so that they can become pure. Because it's only in the human birth that you can actually change your karma and work out your karmas. Those angels will be reborn to earth again. They will be. So we're trying to go into different dimensions. And we're trying to really get to the top. Now when you call all the time, angels, help me this, help me that, help me with this, help me that, what are you doing? Let me tell you a story to illustrate what I'm trying to explain. I think I told it a few weeks ago, but I will tell it again. There was this wonderful, wonderful Swami living in the forest. And there was this king looking for a good teacher. He wanted a good teacher. He wanted a good teacher. He met many masters, but none could fulfill him. So somebody once said, go and see this Swami, this monk who lives in the forest. He's a great saint. So the king went to see him, and my God, his energy was full of light and love. And the king fell in love with him, stayed with him for a few days, was enamored, and felt so much peace in his presence. And then the king said, please, 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 can you come back to my palace with me? I really would like you to come to my palace with me. And the Swami said, why do I need the palace? Look at the palace I've got. All the stars in the world, and all the flowers, and all the fruits I need to eat. I'm so happy here. Why would I need a palace? I have the best one. And the king insisted, please, please, please. So he said, oh, you're so devoted. Okay, for you, I will leave my comfortable palace. So he went with the king to the palace. And the king was showing him around, because beautiful, beautiful. Suddenly the king was showing off about his prayer room. So the king went to his temple, his prayer room, and of course the monk followed him. So the king started doing all his prayers, all his rituals, and the monk was watching him. And then suddenly he started his prayers, da-da-da-da-da-da, and he goes, and dear God, dear God, dear God, please, 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 I really want that kingdom next door, and then my life will be complete. And he turned around, and he saw the monk walking away. Because, why are you walking away? Why are you walking away? And the monk answered, I thought I had come to a palace that belonged to a king. But instead, I came to a palace that belonged to a beggar. See, when you really have that faith, there's nothing to ask. There's nothing to ask. There's only love to give. There's only love to share. Because you feel that love. So all you want to do is share it. You know, also, we talked about pleasure and pain last week. Everything in life is sprinkled with pleasure and pain. When you reach that discrimination, what are you going to ask for? A bit of pleasure for tomorrow? And then what happens? The next day, pain again, and you ask for a bit of pleasure for the next tomorrow? And ask again and again and again. You're always begging, 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 begging.
I ask to be the best I can be.
Wonderful. That's not wrong. That's wonderful.
Nothing material.
That's not begging. That's the best that this body can be.
Keep me focused in...
Wonderful. May everybody pray like you. Absolutely wonderful. And that's what is happening to you, because look at the sincere prayer. It's not asking for material things of the earth. Now, going back to your question, a lot of people Angel, help me with this healing. Angel, help me. Poor angels, you're working them overtime. They love to help you. They're going to help you. If you're in light, the angels of the highest order will come and guide you. You don't even have to ask. They know. They don't need to be told. That asking is the fear. But of course, there are different stages in the spiritual evolution of the soul. In the early stages, you ask. Always ask, because ask and you shall see. Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. So in the initial stages, you need to do all this because you know, because you will need to learn by proof that this works. You need to learn for yourself why Lord Jesus said that and why all the masters say that. Ask and you shall receive. But when you receive, you will realize the things that you receive the most, that means the most to you, are the purest feelings of love, emotion, kindness, good, when they come from a very pure place with no expectation from you. When the love is so pure, you realize that it's the highest you can receive. Now, once you realize that that's the highest you receive, there is no need to ask for the other things. You know they're all temporary. Are you seeing that? But it's a spiritual evolution, and each one is in their own journey at their own time. So nothing, you see, that's why another thing, nothing is ever wrong. Nothing is ever wrong. It's your own spiritual evolution at the time. So if somebody's in a high spiritual or so-called high spiritual evolution, and, you know, they may say something is wrong, but they shouldn't feel something is wrong. They say something is wrong to correct you, like Gurudev did with all his disciples. He'd be quite strict. He'd tell us straight off in public, no problems. You know, he didn't do it to me, but he did it to many people, and I saw it. But I understood why he did it. It was never to make him look strong. It was because he would give that student a message 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They wouldn't get it. Embarrass them, and they got it. Same with children in school. You tell children, don't be naughty. Teacher says, don't be naughty. Next time, child will do it, do it, do it, do it. And nowadays, they used to put us in corners. And then you just get so embarrassed, you don't want to do it again, because it was the embarrassment that stopped you from doing the action again. So actually, it's a way of training and teaching. So it's very hard. It's very hard for a disciple, I think, because you're always watching the master, and many times you don't understand why the master makes these decisions. But when I recognized it in my guru, everything he did was always never for his benefit, but always for the benefit of somebody else. It was that pure. And I recognized it because I watched a lot. And many times people, even in the ashram living there, would say, oh, this guru thinks he knows it all. Once I was sitting at lunch and somebody said that. Boy, did I get angry. I turned around and I said, if that is your attitude, what are you doing in this ashram? You're a hypocrite. I was really upset. If that is your attitude, you shouldn't be here. You should know better. It was a monk, actually. I was so, like, really bang without even thinking. And then afterwards I said, maybe I should be a bit more gentle. You know, I mean, shouldn't be here. But then I also realized that you go through doubts, and this is very, very normal. And, you know, you go through your doubts. The guru is not involved in your doubts. Doesn't have any time for your doubts. No time for your doubts, but you, the disciple, will have their doubts, will have their thinking, will have all their patterns, and why did my master do this? And because I went through all that with my master, so I understand totally. You know, why did my guru do this to this person? Why? And then, as you grow, you can recognize the light in somebody else. You see the light, you understand why. You understand why. And one of the things that helped me to understand it is Gurudev had said to me, you know what, I said, you're just so beautiful, you're just so beautiful. I can't express you in words, and I'm not talking about your body because it was 80-something. I'm talking about this energy You know, I mean, all of you know his energy. You were in his energy field. What did they come back from Bali and tell me? Oh my God, we felt we were at the feet of Lord Jesus. You know, they came and told me that.
Yes.
You know, but when you walked in, just his light, his love, it just something in your heart goes ding, 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 ding. I don't know what it is, but it shifts all the cells in the body. And this is why, you know, the Hindus say when you're in the company of the divine, you receive darshan. What is darshan? Vision of light. And this is why, if you look at all these paintings, you see the halo, the golden light, right? That's the high energy field. It's so high, that's so pure. So of course, if you come into the presence of somebody with a high energy field, whether you like it or not, even if you can't stand the teacher or the guru, you will receive the light. It will touch you. Whether you like it or not, it will touch you. Because why? Energy goes into your cells, it goes into your body, it infuses, and becomes part of you. And that's what happens. And of course, when you go out in the world, again, and get materialistic and all that, you lose it again, you know? The ego gets big again. And this is why satsang is, in all traditions, so necessary. Year after year after year, it just never stops because the world is so powerful. You know, in the Bhagavad Gita, again, our text says, there are thousands and millions who come on this spiritual path. Millions. But only a handful really get it. Who really will devote their lives to service. Most people have a selfish motive. I want this path because I want to appear good, or I want to appear like this, or
escape from pain.
Escape from pain. It's kind of like, that's why the prayers are sincere. Make me the best I can. Very lovely, sincere, pure prayer. And that for me is where the peace comes in. Forget about God or not God or this or that. That is where the light comes in. That's where the peace starts to come in your body and your soul. When you're not connected with this love, you're far from God. And people with panic attacks, they're in this dark hole. Why? Because they're living in fear. I can't feel God. God is not around. God is always around. You're not around. You lost it. You lost it. If you lost something, you can look for it and you can find it. And guess what? You can find it in here, in this body, in your own body. You don't need anybody else's body. And you can fix your mind. You can fix it. I promise you, you can fix it. It's been proven. It works. It's a science. Finding God can be scientific. And that's what I love, the Yoga Sutras of Sri Patanjali. A God, a guru, a light, whatever you want to call it. Again, names irrelevant. It really don't matter. It's that energy. It's that force field. It's that golden light. It's that, oh my God, it's so peaceful, so just joyous. It makes you want to cry. It makes you want to cry. Oh, it just makes you want to sleep. Because you're so relaxed in that energy field. You're at peace. You're quiet. And that's a guru disciple. And it goes through many, many phases. It goes through the phase of doubt. And then only when I was going to what I said to my Gurudev, when I told him he was so beautiful, when you could see the beauty without any judgment, which is what I did, you know, after 10 years of practice. I had doubts throughout the 10 years. And after 10 years of practice, I just, no more doubts. I'm done with the doubts. I'm done. Finished. I said, oh, wow, so beautiful. And then he goes, you can only see my beauty because you have it in you. And I realized that I've been feeding the beauty and not the doubts. So, that is guru-disciple relationship. And there's so many stories I can tell you, but I'd like to read something. Thank you for your question. So, again, are you seeing what I'm saying? The early stages, you call on the angels, call, but don't make it a habit. Don't become dependent on anything. Be independent. Trust the voice from within. That's the highest voice. Learn to listen to that. You learn to listen to that voice. All the angels obey that voice. The highest. They will do it for you anyway. Because you're following the King of Kings. Are you understanding? Do you see the difference? So many people talk to me about angels. I think they're wonderful. I think they're all here. I love them so much. But, you know, my path is not to be an angel or not to be dependent. I want to be independent and find the light within. The freedom. The freedom. For me, it's about freedom, 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 not attachment, freedom, freedom, freedom. So that's how I'd answer that question. Any other questions? Actually, your questions are good. Any other questions? Okay, let me read to you something then about, this is discipleship, key to fulfillment. This is an Italian woman called Amma Caird, and met her a few times. She's a really incredible disciple of our master. And she keys, the four keys to four locks. Huh? She was a beautiful woman, and she traveled with him many years, and then she got married. And after she got married, her husband was one of the admirals from the army or navy, whatever. He's written a few books, and she every weekend she moved him to Charlottesville. In a town, Charlottesville, 45 minutes from the ashram. So every weekend, her and her husband used to stay with Gurudev. And Gurudev did say, one day I asked him, I said, Gurudev, you know, everybody comes to you for problems. Who do you go to? And he said, I can say Amma's my best friend. I thought that was lovely.
Is that the lady that would shout, Viva Gurudev?
Yes, that's
Okay,
the Italian lady. Very beautiful lady, full of devotion and full of, she glows all the time. So that's Amma Caird, yes.
Okay.
So she wrote this book, and I haven't read it for years, but I guess they quickly got it out, but I haven't had a minute to read it. So I just remember I kept this book and I found it somewhere underneath my desk because I loved what she said. So do you mind if I just open and just browse quickly to see? And I'll just choose the second paragraph because I just like to start a bit. No. To the disciple, the Guru is the sheer grace of God. In Sanskrit, the word Guru means remover of darkness. Okay, I won't go to that. Sorry, I already explained all this. The Guru bridges the way, so to speak, and enables us to open the gate to the splendor of the presence within. Standing under this presence is constant and unconditional. Acknowledgement of its supreme reality and authority is loving the Lord God with all one's heart, all one's soul, all one's mind, all one's strength, all one's always, and everything one has. Through everything one does, always, reverently standing under, not by rejecting or denying our nature, but by wisely coming to comprehend it, then putting all its use at the feet of the Lord. When this can sincerely be done, the obstructing darkness is removed from one's inner vision, and what remains shining is the changeless, all-encompassing reality, the eternal light. So she describes the light with it. I'm sorry, the writing is so small, I have to struggle a little.
Wonderful, you can read it.
Maybe a little bit more.
It's a bit dark, right? Excuse me.
It's really tiny,
It's
isn't it?
powerful, yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, that is. Thank you, Shanti. You were right. Much better. I can read now. Better. The kind of love one experiences for a guru is timeless and unconditional. It continues in spite of changing circumstances or the seeming paradox the guru himself represents at times. It is impossible for the disciple to have a concrete mental perception of the guru. It is impossible. Neither can the disciple describe him in any fixed way. Because the Guru is constantly changing according to the disciple's need at each given moment. For the disciple, this may present much pain and difficulty, which in the long run are what helps the disciple propel him through the complexities and difficulties of the countdown in the launching, similar to launching a rocket into space. So are you understanding what she's saying here?
That last bit I missed.
Yeah, it's similar. You see, the Guru, sometimes because of the disciples, can't understand why the Guru is always changing from moment to moment, right? And so the disciple goes through a lot of pain. And this pain is kind of like the preparation, like launching a rocket into space. Because you're ready, it's revving, you're burning, and you're in pain, and suddenly, woof! One day you just fly. You don't know when, but you do. So that's, yeah? Tapas again. Absolutely. The pain and difficulties are caused because one of the natural tendencies of the false ego is to try and find security in situations that are fixed or unchanging. See, we're always the disciple. People are always looking for that security. And we don't like anything that changes. We want everything like routine and permanent for us to find some stage of comfort. But we all know that we're going to die, so everything is going to change anyway. So that's the reason why the Guru changes from time to time, moment to moment, so that you don't get fixed in a certain way of thinking or being. By its very nature, fixation rejects the sweeping, liberating movements of spirit. Did you hear that? The liberating movement of spirit. Where spirit, we want to dance, we want to fly, we can fly. We've forgotten to fly, that's all. And that's why when we're taught it has to be this way or that way, it restricts our freedom, it restricts our flight. We need to change, we need to move, we need to explore, we need to grow. And by watching the constant change, it puts us out of sorts, but it forces us to change, that life is not permanent. It forces the change upon us. I think this is wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, I love the words rejects the sweeping, liberating movements of spirit. In order for us to be truly alive in spirit, we must allow it to move through us. Move through us, did you see that? And assume any and all positions at any and all times. That means if you're allowing the spirit to move through, you have to allow that everything is going to change. What's the Master Shivananda say? Adapt, adjust, accommodate. Right? Because that is life. You've got to be ready for all the different positions you're asked to take. One day a master, next day a student, next day silly person, next day mischievous, next day wonderful, next day saint. You have to take all the parts and be able to adjust to those roles when called and when needed. By so doing it frees us from anything that might become fossilized, obsessive, or crystallized. Did you get that? She knows that feeling, obsessive, crystallized. Right, because then you get stuck. Don't you hear people say, okay, don't you hear this often? I'm stuck. Why do you feel stuck? I'm stuck. Why do you feel stuck? Because I want to do this, but if I do this, I lose the security of that. And if I lose the security of that, what if this doesn't work? So no wonder you're stuck. You're afraid. Move and get unstuck. You have to feel insecure to get unstuck. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. You have to feel insecure. If you want your security, you're going to feel stuck for the rest of your life. I'm stuck. And next thing, when you get stuck, what happens? What's the sign? You can't breathe, right? It's like claustrophobia in your own body. You're stuck. You're claustrophobic in your mind. Oh, I feel claustrophobic. Don't put me in a cage. Don't put me in a
Your
cage.
spirit is stifled.
Yeah, exactly. You seeing it? This is how panic attacks occur. That's why I love it when people walk into my office and say, I've had a panic attack and I don't understand. You've trapped your spirit. Exactly. And the spirit wants to go out, but no, your fears don't allow it. Your fears don't allow it. Your lack of faith doesn't allow it. Oh, I'm not good enough. All these pre-thoughts. God is judging me. I'm bad. I'm this, I'm that, and that. Oh my God, you're really caught. Did God say you're bad? Who said you're bad? Who made the judgments? You're stuck. Get unstuck. Full stop. Make it simple. Make it simple. Blame God. Blame this. Blame that. Oh, how complicated. Nothing to blame. You got stuck. Move out. Why don't you move out? You are frightened. Full stop. That's all.
But it's not us, no, Nalanie. It's two separate entities. It's the mind, and there's us.
That's
So
our
when
journey.
we talk
That
about
is the
us, why do we speak from the mind? Because the mind is separate. That is the obstacle.
that's right.
We are spirit. We are pure. We shine. But so when we say I am fearful, no, I am not fearful.
The mind
My
is.
mind is fearful.
That's exactly
And
how
what
you
is-
get to grow.
And what is fear?
Good girl.
False evidence appearing real.
Yes, but we always talk from the I, and the I is neutral. It's the mind that's in the way.
Correct. That's what yoga science is all about. Fix the mind.
So we
And
need
you'll
to
see
find
the
a
light.
totally different way of speaking. Because it's not
Yeah, the only
I.
thing is,
It's not,
you yeah, absolutely. But you can do this in people that understand. You go out in the world. You disturb everything's your bad. They're not going to understand. You know, you have to balance, right? So here, yes, I'm not Nalanie. I know I'm not Nalanie. I know I'm not this mind. Totally, 100%. You know it. You talked about it just now, right? But you can't go out and speak in a word like they will not understand. You know, do not cast the pearls amongst the swine, as what Jesus said. People are not ready. They'll spit on that information, and they make fun of the God. And better not to do that.
'cause I'm sorry, I'm a little bit stuck there recently.
SHACK, the book.
Yes, isn't it
I
brilliant?
think you read it.
Brilliant. Do you have it?
I have it, yes.
Okay.
You see, I did it again. My mind is stuck with that.
You see, you asked the
basically.
question and you made the
Yes,
flow. Yeah.
my mind is.
Fantastic.
But
Keep
now I
going.
feel schizophrenic.
That's attachment.
Okay, everybody, is she schizophrenic?
I'm in two minds about that. I'm in two minds about that.
So you have two minds, that's even worse.
Nice to see you, Melvin.
Bored you,
Because
We bored you?
Say hi to
Take
your
care.
dad.
Yeah.
You know,
Take it.
something that just crossed my mind yesterday when I was coming here, it was in the dark. By the time I got on the road, it was dark, and I hadn't been here for 10 years, and I didn't know if I was on the right road. And I kept doubting the fact that I was on the right road because I couldn't see anything. So I was looking for things that, oh, maybe I recognise that building or that building. And then when I got to the border, I came through La Linea, and I got to the border, and I thought, oh, something's not right here. But I kept saying it's because it's dark and I can't see. and although I could actually see where I needed to come into Gibraltar, I couldn't find the road because I kept thinking, oh, if only it wasn't dark, I'd be able to see where I was going. And so eventually I thought, I've got to overcome this fear of the dark, and I've got to get out of the car and go and speak to a complete stranger in La Linea to find out how on earth I'm going to get across there. So I went across a taxi, there was a taxi rank full of taxi drivers, and they're all speaking Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. So I just said, do you speak English? And he said, no, not really. And so anyway, with sign language and all of this, he directed me. And it was really interesting because I didn't understand a word he was saying, but I had a feeling that, you know, he was telling me to go to that roundabout and not go this way, but to carry on a bit longer and then turn that way and then turn that way. So, but he was only doing it with his hands. And so I just followed his instructions, and lo and behold, here I am. But, you know, I got fixated on the fact that it was dark and I couldn't see anything, and I kept thinking that I was on the wrong road, but there was another part of me that knew I was on the right road because I kept seeing the sign for Algeciras.
Yeah.
So as long as I kept seeing that, I knew it was okay.
Yeah. See, the instinct was strong, but the mind
Yes,
was
yes,
doubtful.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what we build up, that
Yeah.
instinct. Well, it got you there anyway.
yeah.
So you
yeah,
just confirm the last part.
yeah.
That's all.
The mind gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's our
Yeah,
journey,
it's,
do you see? This is the
challenge.
journey. This is our challenge. This is part of why we're here, having a human experience to, like they said, you know, be launched into space. We want to be launched, so we're going to go through these doubts and we're going to go through all these experiences. The idea is not to get attached to the experiences, but to learn from them. Look, I've done it again. Okay, next time I won't. Oh, I've done it again. Never mind, Lord Jesus, forgive so many times, whatever. I forgive myself. I'll do it next time. You know, to be easeful and useful and careful and, you know, be careful with your mind, be careful with your heart, be careful with your life. Just be a little careful.
It's very easy to go into denial
Very.
because no one wants to hear or be told that, you know, it's different from what you think it is. So just keep going.
Just keep going. Follow that, because the doubts will always be there. So don't worry. You're not stuck.
Or schizophrenic.
You're not stuck.
It's funny on your story, it's like when you're lost, you get out and ask someone. That's like finding a guru to help you
Yes,
the way.
yes.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. The
And
last
who
step.
needs words? Huh? Sometimes we
Yeah.
don't need words.
Don't even need
It's
language.
feelings.
Yes.
Correct. Sometimes you don't need words.
Because you allowed yourself to be open, because
Yeah.
then you could have been stuck, yeah, he doesn't speak the language, and then, you know, so am I going to... But you
Well,
allowed
all of my
yourself...
friends said you're going on holiday on your own. You know, it was like they couldn't do it. And my mum said, I just wish that somebody was coming with you. And I said, no, I'm just going on my own journey. I don't want to be with anybody else. I want
It's
to just
wonderful.
go. Yeah.
It's where all my journeys on my own taught me great lessons of my fears and insecurities, and that's why when young people say, should I go to university, it's not for the intellectual learning. I don't think there's much in there. It's more for the journey of experiences, meeting new people, seeing new faces, not with their parents making all the decisions for them, but them learning to be independent and making decisions. You know, and I always encourage it for that reason. You know, I think it's really important if you have children to let them go free, to grow, to travel alone. I mean, not in dangerous countries. But this isn't a dangerous country. But mind you, you never know where danger comes to.
True.
Okay. I went to one of the most dangerous places with guns and everything, and I thought, really safe. So you just don't know.
And it's what you attract,
Yeah, it's what you're trying to
not what's the list in prophecy. It shows you that how you can hide from that.
But she was saying, read the book The Shack. It's beautiful.
The
I
what?
love The Shack.
H-A-C-K.
Read the book. Yeah, it's
French.
brilliant. I've forgotten about it. I gave mine away to my niece when she lost her
Is
son.
it in the library?
I've
here?
linked it to Mangala, so maybe when she's ready.
Thanks,
I'll
yeah.
go to you.
Put me on the
It's
list.
a very simple, but it explains the whole.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and I love how when God appears. It's really beautiful. You wouldn't expect
Really,
it.
yeah?
Yes.
Totally
I
unexpected.
love it. And such a cool God. I fall in
Yes.
love with that. So please read The Shack. It's brilliant. It really is a very deep book, very moving. And pardon?
S-H-A-C-K.
The Shack. Who is it written by? Do you remember the author? I've forgotten.
Is it Robin? No.
No, it's not Robin Sharma. It's a brilliant book.
Somebody young?
I can't remember now.
Young.
I really literally got the book, read it in 2 days, and sent it
I've
in.
never
That's what
heard of
happened
it.
to me, and gave it to my niece right away because she lost her son.
Wow.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So,
Nalanie, one
one more question, yeah?
Yeah, one more question?
Yeah.
Do I have time?
You have time, but I want to know about other people have questions too, not only you. Thank you. Anybody else has questions? Yes.
Sorry, it's back to what you said about the angels. Sorry, it's a bit of a... you know you said not to depend on them. Somebody gave me angel cards ages ago, and every night I got into a habit of doing an angel card, so
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. I just do it out of routine. I just pick a card out of the pack.
Yeah.
I
Don't
think
make-
about a question and then I pick out a card.
Yeah. Do you know what? Don't make it a habit, because again you're going into something that's the power of the mind, right? I mean, it's a good power, but it's not allowing life to flow as it should magically.
But I keep getting near enough the same card.
I'm curious. What does that
An end of a cycle. It's talking mystique or something. It's
Oh,
so
very
bizarre.
good. Have you? Obviously, you are coming to an inner cycle.
Celeste comes up quite a lot as well.
Oh, so you're making a spiritual transition. That's what it's telling you. Are you meditating then?
No.
Oh, start.
But I do shuffle the cards.
This came way
Hard work is
It's amazing how those
I'm
cards
stuck in
go.
the cycle, picking the same card. No, I'm not crystallised.
That was brilliant. Thank you. So you said it. No wonder it's crystallized.
Yeah.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? So become uncrystallized.
I'll hide the pack now.
And start with meditation. Start with meditation. It's a sign. If you keep getting that same card, yeah, it's like mystical path. Going to the higher celeste is higher areas and spirituality. It means now you need to make an effort to get there. That is what's going to happen to you. That is decided. It's your destiny. Now you have to work to get there. So good destiny, good card. Now you have to work. But if you keep picking cards, you don't do the work, you pick the cards. And then you have to come back to fulfill that destiny. You don't really want to do that again. So do you see how it works? It's you're destined. So let's see. Any other questions? Any other questions? You had something.
Funnily enough, it was to do with angels, and I thought she's going to ask it for me. And I'm not really into it, but as it's a small group, I'd like to ask you, how are you so sure that those angels have to come back to a human birth to continue evolving? Wouldn't they have their own dimension that maybe they can continue evolving from there?
Maybe. Some will be from a higher dimension. Some will be from this dimension. Not all will come back, but all will have to evolve into different dimensions, different planets, different Earths. There are many different planets, different Earths. We're eternal. We're infinite. We never die. So it's just this planet is quite heavy that we're in. It's a beautiful planet, absolutely beautiful, but it's also plagued with lots of negativities. So some angels will come back here for sure. How can I be so sure?
Question mark.
Now I know how you know. You know.
You know that she knows she knows.
You know she knows.
I know some things. I just know some things. Other things I know nothing. But some things I do know. I know.
But for me, that was more clear because some don't have to come.
No, some don't. Some
Archangels,
don't.
for example, adds another realm.
That's why I
altogether.
said depending on your energy field. Like if your energy field is high, you're not beggar, you will get the highest angels coming to help you. Right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The highest, that's what I was trying to say. Depends on your energy field, the type of angels you get to help you. So energy is really high, the highest and highest order. You will see gold lights around you. I do see when people are going to heal, you know, I do see these beautiful bright lights around them, and I know, thank you, I've seen it. I know they're going to heal, so they're telling me they're not going to heal, and this, and I go, well, you are. You can say whatever you want, but I know because I see those angels. I call them angels because their lights are so bright. And sometimes there are 3, sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 1. Sometimes it's like so bright that you can't even describe the light, and sometimes they're so blue, and then I know somebody's ill and needed a physical healing. So how do I know? I've seen them. And it always has been over the last 20 years. And you know, when something keeps reoccurring and then it gets fixed and then you know, by example or by experience, you know, you get to know certain things. You just know certain things. And when you know them, you know them. It's just like if I know this is the microphone, I know the ranges. That's how I know. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I remember before I started with well, not a bad patch, a challenging patch in my life, for example, like death, you know, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, all the rest, that I was blessed enough to see an angel, and I thought, oh my God, you know. Before that, I'd seen horrible things. I think Naya knows the story. I used to see like monsters and things. Lily was experiencing when I shared a room with her, with Nalanie, you remember?
Yes, I remember.
Difficult to forget, it won't come out. How could she forget?
They don't know the story, so tell it clearly.
The thing is that it's just that we were both sharing a room in Dalai Lama one of the nights,
When
right?
we went to Lisbon,
Yeah.
we shared a room because Gita wanted to come. So she gave her room to Gita and
Oh, I
said,
didn't know that
You
till
didn't
now.
know? Okay.
Thank
So
you.
she got, there's no more rooms. Can I share the room with you? And I go, yes, on one condition. Because I get up all hours at night, I'm going to meditate, and you know, please don't talk to me till 2 or 3 in the morning. I like my quiet time when I'm with people all day, but when I go, I like to meditate. I love my silence. I love no problem, Nalanie.
No problem. Trying to zip them out, you know.
I love her dearly. I love her dearly. The first time
Oh, it was really good
I
experience.
just finished my meditation, I fall asleep. There's monsters inside.
Honestly, it's just something you've never, and I've just seen it a few times. And the thing is, I was in next to Nalanie. The Dalai Lama was in the hotel, so I don't know what was going on. Something.
It
Anyway,
couldn't be a safer place.
I must have been purifying something. So I don't know.
She
But I
was
really
facing, what I realized is
Oh.
that you want to know why? You
Okay.
were facing those deep fears of monsters and evil spirits. And I think you were in a very safe place, so all those could come out. And the first night she was really scared, so I rubbed her and she went to sleep. The second night she had it, and the third night you were fine.
Fine.
And after that she's not seen it.
No, I haven't seen them anymore. And I was saying that after that, I saw
Those
this
feelings
angel.
and emotions maybe haunt us until you're
They
surrounded
cleared,
by
you know.
nice light, and
Yeah.
then they come
They
out.
came out. I mean, it's just something. Obviously, there's deep fears, and that obviously, you know, some of us have, you know, issues. I don't know, whatever. But it's just that when I saw this angel, first of all, I thought, oh my God, I'm seeing something horrible again, you know. But then all of a sudden, I saw this sort of like translucent with like lights, and I just felt it was really nice. And at the time, I realised afterwards that it was there to show me that I'm with you. Don't worry through this bad patch that you're going to go through. Because after that, it was like lots of deaths and challenges in life, you know.
Oh, you're an angel, you will see many. So that's the
Just
truth.
share that. That was an
Thank
experience.
you.
Experience on
Blossoming
angel.
She's blossoming.
Incredible.
She's really blossoming, leaps and bounds. Should I finish this? And then, there's so much, but I'll just read the last paragraph to see what the conclusion is, right?
Yeah.
Guru-disciple is a most holy relationship. It defies time and space. It is unshaken by circumstances and remains forever invulnerable to the concepts, slings and arrows of human creation. It is a hymn celestial, continually rising to the throne of God from whence it proceeds. It glorifies the Almighty and makes the heavens rejoice. It makes the human divine and opens the portal to God's perfect purpose. And wonder of wonders, once established in an individual's heart, this relationship miraculously sets the pattern or the blueprint for all other relationships. The Guru is seen everywhere, in everything, and in everyone. Thus, every trial becomes an opportunity. Every failure, a victory. Every personal exchange becomes holy, and existence becomes a constant miracle. The heart cannot but expand in wave after wave of loving adoration and gratitude to the Almighty God for the magnificence of such gracious blessings. Guru and disciple together then fulfill the law of life, the law of love. When this law is thus fulfilled, life is transformed into a gloriously natural flow of continuous peace and joy unspeakable, because by then it has become obvious that there is nothing but God. So,
Oh, beautiful.
nothing but God. And this is what happened to me with my master. When you love someone and you no longer see the presence of the body, you go beyond the mind and body. All you see is divinity, and once you see it, it's no longer in a concrete form anymore, it's everywhere. That's how I learned God was everywhere. So, I'm still learning. I never stop learning. Life is about learning. And this is why I always advise you all, to find your divine qualities. Your divine, not somebody else's. Your best qualities, work on them, bring them forward, have faith in yourself. And if you can't have faith in yourself, do it for God. Do it for the light within you. Oh, I can't do it, I've got a messy mind. But guess what? The light's in me, that's God. In order to respect God, I owe it to myself not to be a victim. I had enough being a victim, enough feeling sorry for myself. Is the divine feeling sorry for itself? It's love. So when you do this enough every day to yourself, you become your best doctor, you become your best psychologist, because why? You've awakened that divine within. You've woken God up in you. You said, I trust you. You're here within me. I don't need to go to all these doctors. I don't need to go. I just need to be in light, in the company of light, in light, to remind myself of my own light. And then your whole life will change.